obviously at the start you start recapping GCSEs because we haven't done that for what, 6 months, is it? So it's been a bit of a rocky start, getting into A-level stuff like that. So it's good. Yeah, it's good.
And ask yourself, how am I actually doing? Don't lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm fine, because the next week I could have a breakdown.
My sister's school closed because I think a parent got corona. So she's been at home for like 3 days, and I think she got like a massive folder full of homework.
Hello, and welcome back to another Brightening Barrow podcast. In today's video, we're going to be looking at what it's like now people are back at school, what you can be doing at home, despite the news stories that are always putting us down. So, we've all been back at our various colleges for a while, 2 weeks roughly. What's it been like for you?
It's been eventful, definitely, because of certain rules because of the coronavirus. It's constantly like checking up on certain things, and timetables are a lot different than what they normally would be. But I know I'm doing an engineering course in fabricating and welding, and it's a lot of fun, but also there's the educational side as well.
Yeah, it's been pretty good for me as well. Yeah, it's been like very different to how it normally is. It's all right that I've got a day off, which is pretty good. I'm liking having a day off. But there's been a lot of homework and a lot of tests, and it's just been quite stressful. So yeah.
Good to be back though.
Yeah, I've done very well.
Right.
How has your college experience been going?
Yeah, no, it's been good. Obviously at the start you start recapping GCSEs because we haven't done that for what, 6 months, is it? So it's been a bit of a rocky start, getting into A-level stuff now. So it's good. Yeah, it's good.
How are your timetables? I know me, I have 2 days off at the beginning of the week, so I'm in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the next week I'm off, and then it continues that cycle. So I'm in every other week. Like, how's your timetable like set out?
Well, it's a weekly timetable certainly for me. I've got Tuesday where I don't have anything, but that doesn't mean it's a day off. I've still got a load of work that I need to be doing, whether it's the homework that's been set or just my own work for I've got a free day on Tuesday, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not doing anything. I've still got a lot of work. Maisie said there's loads of homework and all sorts, but I quite like that because I'm weird like that.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's quite good though, because I've had like some days I only come in the morning, and some days I'm there for like one lesson, and it's quite flexible. Like you're not at school all the time, which is different to obviously GCSE, but I think I like it more not having to be in all the time. So
definitely,
yeah.
They're longer, aren't they? Well,
yeah, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes, I think, every lesson.
Yeah, so that we're coming in and out less, is it, or something like that?
Yeah, and I think they try and make it so that you don't mix. Like, I haven't seen, like, loads of people from my secondary school that went to my college, I haven't seen them at all, like, since it started, because they're trying to make it so that only certain people will be together in the corridors, so that if anyone gets it, we can kind of, not everyone has to stay home from school or whatever.
Yeah. The times flux, don't they? So it's like you can start really early morning, or you can be like later on. But they've split groups as well. I don't know if in your course, if they've done that. I know mine have. We had a lot of people who signed up for the engineering. But at the moment, there's only 3 people in my actual group, in my class, because we were split up. So there's a lot less of us, so we're not all together.
Yeah, there's certainly more than one group per subject. That seems to vary on the classroom size, though.
Yeah.
I think they've put a lot of classes in like the library and the hall and sort of things, so that there's more space, so that desks are like 2 meters apart and you're not really touching people and stuff, rather than making the class sizes a lot smaller.
Yeah, I've got lessons in the student training, and I've got maths and EPQ, so I'm in there quite a lot. But yeah, that is because for the EPQ we've got about 30 odd people that are doing it, not possibly more. That's more than they've had in any other year. So not only have we got more, we've got to have more separated. So there's sort of half of it. Are we finding social distancing in colleges difficult, or is that quite easy? Because, like we've already said, you're not mixing that much. But is it difficult to do?
I don't think. I know at Furness College, where I am, well, it's at Furness College, don't know. You have to wear your mask on the like corridors and things, but once you get into your actual classroom, you can take them off, and everything is obviously, as you said, distanced. So it's kind of like we're all fairly spaced apart, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, because you're not seeing people that you know, you might not be like as close to people anyway. Because like I don't really see my friends in the corridor, so I'm not going up to anyone and like having a conversation or anything, so I don't know them. So I'm not really tempted to not social distance very often.
Well, actually, there is that downside. You say that you won't talk to anyone in the college because you don't know them. Well, obviously, you're not just going to randomly talk to people, but it's going to be much harder to make new friends and even continue with your old school friends because you're not with them. I mean, I'm sat near a couple of people from my old school in 2 of my classes. I was just lucky, but it's really difficult. I've not socialised with anyone in college because obviously we can't. So, do you think that is that going to affect people starting out in secondary schools? Certainly, because it's a big step up from primary school to secondary school, and equally even from secondary to college. Do we think people are going to struggle in the long run with that, or what?
It's different in secondary school though, isn't it? Because you're in your form and you can like, I don't know if they do it at all secondary schools, but when you fill in and you say, oh, I'm friends with this person, I want to be in form with them.
Yeah.
So people might be in forms with their friends anyway. And it's a lot less, like, I don't think that there'll be too much, like, they won't be able to like split people's lunch up that much, I don't think. Like, people will still be mixing and stuff, especially at like the secondary schools. Because my sister's, she's at primary school. But it's like all the kids are kind of like told like I think the reception kids start like 10 minutes before the year 1 kids or whatever, but they're still all kind of together in the playground at the same time. So I think they'll be less strict on mixing and stuff at the lower schools. I'm not sure, obviously I'm not sure, but that's what I think.
Like they're making new friends as well. Like from personal experience, I knew when we weren't in this pandemic, it was hard enough to make new friends. And that's just me being socially awkward. But if now we've got this whole like barrier in place, I get that it will be a lot harder. But we think about it in a positive outlook, people will be able to make new friends. And then it's sometimes just that little bit of a outside bubble, as well as just you stuck inside of your family. It's that one person that you can really just connect with. If you're in like certain groups, certain classes, you can connect with that one person more than the rest.
So, in other words, every cloud has a silver lining, yeah?
Yes, definitely.
So, the upper years of college and secondary school, obviously they're going to find a lot difficult because they've missed almost half of their course just in 1 year because you've not been in. Where was I going with this? Obviously, because they've missed a lot, this must be hard. But it seems some schools have done really well. Walney seems to have put catch-up lessons that have been really successful. What do you think about that?
from being from Walney, I know for a fact the catch-up sessions are absolutely amazing. Because you don't just, like, it was my year as well that did it. So, yes, I've just left. But when we started up in year 11, if we'd still missed certain bits going through, there was catch-up sessions and they're absolutely amazing. They cover everything. So, although it is short periods of time, either is it before or after school that we do them, or within certain free periods of lessons, you learn so much just in this short amount of time. But the fact that kids nowadays have got that resilience of getting back up and trying the hardest to get back to a decent spot where they know they're going to be secure, and at the end of all this, they're working hard to get where they need to be.
In the news recently, there's been almost the looming threat of another lockdown. So in case that happens, what can people doing, so from the point of view of a student, what can you be doing now to keep yourself motivated to continue doing that through if we did have a second lockdown? And also from the point of view, how can you keep yourself well, how can you see, but mentally well? What can you be doing now just in case that happens? Because obviously, if it does, we need to be. If we act now, we might have a better chance of coping better. What would you suggest?
Setting goals. I think there's nothing better than achieving something. So setting your own goals, like if we do go into another lockdown, I know my classes, probably everybody else's, have got like an online school now. So because everything nowadays is online. So going on to that, doing what you've been set, but also if you finish that and you're like just sat there bored, probably going on and searching different things, looking up parts of your courses, your lessons, just to get a feel and to kind of rack up your knowledge of bits you haven't done yet, kind of, so you know that when you go back in, you're not going to be sat there and think, I've got no idea what I'm doing. You're going to know at least a certain part of the future lessons, what I would say.
I know my computer science teacher has been recording some lessons for us, so if we do go into the second lockdown, we'll have some of the lessons, like a video of them online that we can access. We can watch the actual lesson that we would have had, which is very good. I'm not sure what the other teachers are doing, but I think that they're just going to set us a lot of work. My sister's school closed because I think a parent got corona. So she's been at home for like 3 days, and I think she got like a massive folder full of homework. And she doesn't really do homework, but my mum made her do it. So she did get it done. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good because they gave her quite a lot to do. And it wasn't like really easy or anything. It was quite challenging for her. So I think that most schools kind of know what they're doing, or at least her school definitely did. So it was pretty good what they did for her. So
Yeah, we're doing the same in our physics class. Well, actually, no, the roles have been reversed. So we do the homework, if you like, in the class, and all the lessons are virtual. So if we did go into the lockdown, nothing would change for us. You mentioned setting yourself goals if you're a student. Now, would you say that this is also true for someone who isn't? Just setting yourself small goals, something to do. Like you might say, by the end of the week, I want to have perfected baking a sponge cake, for example. I want to be able to do that without a recipe. Goals like that. Would that be a good thing to set yourself doing?
Yeah, definitely. Always having something to reach at the end motivates you to keep going and to stay, don't know what the word would be, active, not to just sit there and do nothing, because you will notice if you just sit there and do nothing, it does take a toll on not just mental health, but physical health as well. So keeping doing whatever, it's, as you said, baking a cake, you might run out of eggs, you need to run to the shop. But run to the shop, don't just walk. So you keep just challenging yourself and you never know, you could make some fun out of it.
Yeah, if you run to the shop after running out of eggs, you might burn off those calories that you've gained from eating all your cakes.
Yes.
There you go. 2 birds, 1 stone. So I think this rolls quite nicely into what we're going to talk about next. What we said to set yourself small goals, like we said, baking cake. What else can you do? What can we be doing? What can you be doing at home now, keeping yourself positive? Because obviously the news stories aren't particularly good at the moment. Equally, if we go into another lockdown again, what can you be doing? Any suggestions? Don't all shout at once.
Doing crafts.
There we go. Okay. What sort of crafts? Do you do crafts? What do you enjoy if you do?
My sister likes doing like mindfulness colouring.
All right.
Like they're quite good. I think you can just get them like online, like just Google it and print one out and then colour in. So that's pretty good.
I've seen a few of those dotted around, yeah.
Creating new hobbies, but not just new. Continue on other hobbies, obviously. I remember when all of this first came about, there was adverts about 8 famous people talking about it. Try and learn a language, try and learn how to play an instrument. Just things like that. Like, personally, I've been writing more, creative writing, and more music and more art. So like, I've taken all of the creative elements that I can think of. There's probably more, but the 3 main ones that stick out to me, the art, well, drawing, music and writing, and mixing them together as well. Like, trying to create new things in your own way, because it is fun, but it's kind of calming and relaxing as well. So I recommend that, hobbies. Ewan, have you got anything that you would recommend to do?
Well, I think we said it all. If you keep yourself busy doing anything, you said that you've taken 3 forms of art and put them together. So creating new hobbies out of things that you already do is certainly a good way, because not only does that introduce you to something not quite new, but it also keeps your brain ticking over. You're thinking of new things. That's very important. Never try your best not to get bored. Do something different each day. That's what I did when we first went into it. I tried to do something different each day, and eventually I got through it. I set myself a task to do at the end. I decided to write a book. Unfortunately, I've not finished with that because I got a load of work. But write a book. Why not? Just don't do it on physics, because that's difficult. Yeah, that's what I did.
Don't just creative writing. Use your imagination.
Yeah. That will probably work out for you better. I mean, if you enjoy doing sciences or maths or whatever, and you want to do a non-fiction informative book, go ahead. I struggled a bit with that, but I kept pushing through it. Do you have anything else that you want to say before we move to the news stories?
Keep an eye on yourself. Keep making sure you're all right. Take the time out and ask yourself, how am I actually doing? Don't lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm fine, because the next week you could have a breakdown. Keep reminding yourself and just keep asking, am I okay? How's everything doing? Ask your friends, ask your family if they're all right too, because there's nothing worse than not having people who are around you who you can relate to. So keep communicating and keep healthy in all aspects.
Yes, that's certainly very important. Try and keep as social as you can as well, even if that's just virtually, or give someone a call. give one of your friends a call or something. Even that, might cheer them up. But yeah, that's certainly very important. We now move to the section of the video where we talk about good news stories. Who would like to start us off?
I'll start. The HMS Albion, a BAE launch ship, has set sail on a 3-month voyage to the Mediterranean to conduct experiments. Rob Pedre, the Commander Littoral Strike Group, said this trip will provide reassurance to our allies and partners and strengthen NATO.
James Fragel, a 5-year-old boy from Walney, has finally been diagnosed after his mum has spent years searching for answers. So when he was about 3, he was diagnosed with autism, but it was believed that he had a much more complex condition. They've been waiting for the genome analysis for years. Now, finally, they've diagnosed all of his conditions. This is great news for the family because they can relax in a way, as now they know exactly what his conditions are, so the family can help the young boy cope with it. So James would like to go to Houston and meet the people who discovered what he has. So in order to do this, they are raising money. So if you would like to donate, there will be a link in the description for you to do so.
And the friends and family of TV star Caroline Flack, who tragically killed herself in February, are climbing some of the highest mountains in the Lake District to raise money for Samaritans, a helpline for those in an emotional crisis. Many unnamed celebrities will be climbing for 12 hours each day, along with some of Caroline's closest friends and family. A link for Samaritans will also be in the description.
Please get in touch. We would like to hear from you. So for the next video, we would like to hear your good news stories. What good has been happening near you, or what good have you done? Let us know by sending us an email, direct message on social medias, or leaving a comment.
Thank you for watching our podcast and helping us Brightening Barrow one stream at a time. Hydrogen.
Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen.
Back when I did my box in 11, I could recite the periodic table up to 42.
No one cares.
No, I know. I just...
Did you not just learn the song? I learned the song.
No, I didn't, actually.
That's the end.
Okay. Are we all ready to start into so nobody has to bring in
I don't know what you were going to do it in. Okay, now. Okay.
Yeah, what is it?
Hear what?
It's like a...
That noise, can you not hear it?
What noise?
It's like a beeping. Like a really long beep. Can you see the bear?
Beep?
Yeah, you can see the bear the whole time.
For God's sake. He's hoping to hide the bear.
Say the person that comes off top. No, don't say the person that comes off.
No, don't say the first thing.
I'm going to end badly.
How was your first day at college going? Hot dogs!
Hello and welcome back to another Brightening Barrow podcast. In today's video, we're going to be looking at what it's like now people are back at school, what you are doing now with...
I'm trying to balance this on a DVD and a speaker, so it's not going very well.
I put mine in this.
In today's video, we're going to be looking at how to stand your phone up when you're trying to read notes during a podcast.